Welcome to Hedgehog's Homestead. I'm Big Hedgehog,
I'm Little Hedgehog.
and we're here to give you an update.
So let's update him, Paul.
Update. Okay, so boots on the ground, January 12th. Got the Hong Kong fluey, latest low, got moved in, and we've been running as fast as we can since then.
Yep.
So we
didn't get the Hong Kong fluey. First, we went and looked at the property for the first time with me, right?
All right. This isn't meant to be an exhaustive detail.
Oh, okay.
Everything that we've done, right?
Okay.
This is just a general overview of kind of the big broad strokes of what's been happening,
Okay.
construction-wise, land-wise, and these kind of things. Just
Okay.
not a complete detailed rundown. You can see all that on our videos.
Yep.
So, boots on the ground, January 12th, and pretty much probably as we were coming across the country, we got the Hong Kong fluey. Then our stuff was delayed. We signed our lease on the 14th. Our stuff was delayed until the 24th, I want to say. And it just kind of, it was a bit of a poopocalypse avalanche.
Yeah.
And so we're a little bit delayed there, which didn't really hurt our feelings because we did not feel well at all.
Right.
So, and in between that time, Laura was able to get out and see the property for the first time and hike it and kind of see what I've been talking about for the last year with her own very eyes.
And it's amazing.
That all you had to say? Not, you're a great picker. Not, wow, you're the most amazing husband ever to find me the property that I loved dearly from the very first second.
Oh, brother.
Not any of that.
He did well.
I guess I'll take that.
Yeah.
So
I've already praised you, honey.
I know, but I have a big back,
I know.
so it needs lots of pats.
You got a big everything.
That's right, I do. Large sized. Anyway, so she saw the property and then we began trying to decide where we wanted to put our pad, and right from the beginning I kind of knew where it was, but I needed for her to have that confirmation and for her to see it.
Oh, for our house.
Yeah. Well, for our house in Hedgehog Manor.
Yes.
The main compound.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was going to be in the area that it was, but I wanted her to see and decide if she felt the same thing, and she did. So we went and we got old Mabel and brought her home. Boy, is she a beauty.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She works. She doesn't complain. She doesn't backtalk. She doesn't sass me. I get in there and just start playing with her, and she just does what she wants. Does what I tell her to do.
Mabel's our tractor.
Yes, Mabel the tractor. So Mabel has already done yeoman's work for you seamen out there. That means a lot.
Okay.
And it's going to be not too long before Mabel needs her first oil change, coming up at 50 hours.
Because she's been working hard.
She's been working hard.
We keep her lubed.
Yeah, she's all lubed up.
Mm-hmm.
She's happy.
Yeah.
And we got her a couple beauty treatments, a little beauty enhancements. We got our box blade and we got our pallet forks. Still waiting on our disc cutter, which will come in the year of our Lord 2075.
We might have to look somewhere else.
Yeah, we may, but
it's out there somewhere in the universe, guys.
It's out there in frontier land somewhere. But so we're waiting on that still. But really the nature of our video today is to kind of bring you up to speed. So that most of you know the pad's done, it's cleared, rocks put down, tiny house is put down, and now the fun begins in earnest. And the major challenge that I've been dealing with this week especially Monday and Tuesday hard. A little bit yesterday too. Was a gambrel roof is kind of like what you see behind us, and there's no soffits. No soffits, no airflow. And what do you do about insulation? And this has been vexing me. This has been vexing me from the very beginning.
Where am I going to put my elbow?
On your chair that has its no pads.
No, yep.
So this has been vexing me right from the very beginning. How are we going to get airflow into an attic? And what does that look like? And what would that mean like for a ceiling? Would we have to drop the ceiling down? Open up our octagonal windows at each end, put a gable vent fan in there, or put a fan on one side that's humidity and temperature controlled, and then an exhaust on the other side. So this attic problem is vexing, and I've called high and low, near and far, and spent a considerable amount of time researching it and looking and seeing how are we going to solve this problem. Because if you don't have this problem solved, that's going to lead to condensation, if I can speak. It's going to lead to condensation.
Condensation.
It's going to lead to moisture.
Right.
It's going to lead to mildew, and it's going to lead to rot. So all of those things are not what we're looking for in Hedgehog Manor. So I have talked briefly. I mean, I probably called 20 people, if I've called one, in trying to get this solved. I talked to one insulation outfit, said, well, yeah, we'll just spray closed foam and we'll spray it right over the double bubble, and said, yeah, that's fine. We'll encapsulate the whole thing. You don't have to worry about any air pockets. You don't have to worry about any moisture. And then I talked to a bigger insulation outfit, and they said, absolutely not. That stuff comes out way too hot to spray, and then you'd end up creating cavities behind it. So I guess the biggest thing there, the item of note, is the fact if an insulation company wouldn't do it, then that's probably something we don't want to do either. Right. So we'll be meeting him out there on Tuesday at Hedgehog Manor.
Yeah.
And see what he says, and if we have to take the double bubble all down, then so be it. But again, this has been a very conflicting, contrary advice. The builder says, oh yeah, just put bat insulation up there. This is a 2x4 ceiling, so you don't have a lot of extra room, but then still, if you put an insulation in there, there's still going to be airspace. Then that would still lead potentially to condensation and, big problems. So I'm looking to independently corroborate anybody's advice that I'm getting, especially when it comes to such an important topic as having moisture in a space that does not need moisture. Right. So.
And all the companies are really busy around here because there's so much building going on. It's just hard to get people to come out and talk about it. One of the quotes that we got for the ceiling, was it just the ceiling?
The ceiling and the floor was $5,300, but the guy said that's a 2.3 increase. So 2,300%, or if you want to look at that, or 230%.
Yeah.
A 2.3 increase, and we're seeing that across the board. Another thing that we have going is we want to get a propane tank, and I want to get about 1,000 gallon. It's way more than we're going to need. Might take us years to use up 1,000 gallons. I don't know, but I want to be able to ride the ebb and flows of pricing, and when it's cheap, I'll buy it, and then ideally, when it's at its cheapest, I'll fill it and kind of keep that equation going. But we have to buy the tank ourselves to do that.
Yeah, so we might just buy a smaller tank until then, like a little tank.
No, I mean the tank price has doubled. So the tank was $2,300 a year ago, and now it's at like $4,600, she said, or vice versa. It was like $2,100, and now it's $4,300.
And the reason why we want to buy our own tank, because if you rent the tank,
yeah, you lease it.
You end up having to go by their schedule as far as filling it, and so you can't fill.
Not exactly.
Oh, okay.
It's if you lease a tank from them, you're on a quota for so many gallons a year.
Oh, okay.
And if you don't meet that quota, then they're going to charge you a penalty based on that anyway, because they didn't get to come out and sell you gas, the amount of gas that you're quote unquote contracted for. So we want to get a bigger tank, and then we'll ride the ebb and flows of supply and demand, and the price changes ourselves.
So that's why we want to buy.
Yeah, it just makes more sense. So I think we're on the way to solving the attic ventilation. I think you can go with closed cell foam. Any of you guys that know any better, please leave any comments of if you have any better ideas. All of our ideas are just that, ideas, and we're working it out. We're not professionals, certainly in the building department. So we're working on this.
We'll put a picture of the ceiling right over somewhere above us or around us so you guys can get an idea of what the ceiling looks like.
Well, the ceiling looks like the ceiling behind us.
It's a little different. We'll add a picture.
No, the ceiling is exactly the ceiling, almost.
They can't see it in the picture, though.
Anyway.
So I'll tilt the camera back. See, there you go.
It's similar to that.
Yeah.
Except that it still peaks in the center of that.
Yeah.
But it's a gambrel roof, a barn-style roof, for any of you that know what roofs are. Barn-style. At any rate, I think we have that solved. An architect I spoke to as well, again, not paid for architect, so it's not consultation, but said you can go ahead and fill in the airspace, and then you don't have any area to collect moisture. And at the same time, we think we'll get the floor sprayed with closed cell foam as well, which then will seal that floor up nice and tight, keep our Hedgehog tiny home snug as a bug as a rug, snug as a bug as a... Snug. If I could say it. Oh, you say it.
Snug as a bug in a rug?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. So keep us all snug. Keep us cool in the summer, and keep us snug as a bug in a rug.
There you go.
So we have that going on. The weather we've been trapped inside. But please go look at our new links. We have some exciting Hedgehog swag out there.
Well, don't we want to talk?
I'm just saying that.
Okay. There's other things that we have looked into is gutters. Doing it ourselves, having somebody else do it.
We're not doing it ourselves.
Well, we need to get prices and see what the prices are.
We're still not doing it ourselves.
Okay. Well,
she wants to argue with me, folks. This is how it usually goes.
We obviously haven't discussed this for a little bit with the gutters, but also IBC totes.
Hold on. Let's go back to the gutters.
Okay.
So here's why we want to get professional gutters.
Okay.
A, they're seamless. We're not going to go to a home improvement store and get seamless gutters. We're not going to find that because they don't make them at the home improvement stores. So therefore, any place of joints or places of leaks, we have a straight run across the front and a straight run across the back. This is the easiest gutter install that these guys will do in a month. And it's just along the length. But also the important part here is why. It has to be the right size for the downpours we get. And which you've alluded to, we're going to have some IBC totes, which for those of you who don't know, those are just poly totes, they're called in the trade. 265 gallon, 275, you can get them in a variety of sizes, but 265 in my oil field days, that's what we used a lot of. We used a lot of 330s as well, but anyway. So we're going to collect our rainwater, but this is going to be rainwater for off off use.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't need to get potable for that, because we don't want
Portable?
potable,
What's that mean?
drinkable.
Oh.
We don't want potable water coming off the metal roof.
No.
Anything that's in the metal, chemicals, solvents, anything that gets on the roof, dust, dirt, debris.
Mm-hmm.
But my main concern, and maybe again, somebody out there knows the trick to this, collecting rainwater to use, that you can treat it. But again, I'm a little bit concerned about any of the metal and what it may or may not leach. I don't know anything about it, so I'd be a little loath to drink it without knowing that first.
I'd be more concerned about the paint on the metal.
Well, right. I mean, whatever the concern is.
So we have a metal roof, so.
Yes, but the point is that until we knew, that's not water that we're going to drink. So it'll be water to use, maybe for gardening and this kind of thing, and
animals,
maybe and what?
Animals, maybe.
Yeah, animals. It'd be good. It'd be fine, I'm sure. Yes.
We also have a creek that we can get water from for emergencies. No?
Potentially we could get water from it. But it depends on how far our drop is, over how many feet. And, we could potentially. We have to just, again, another viability project. I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that we have to be able to draw, 20 to 30 feet roughly we saw that fellow do.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to drop down 20 to 30 feet, so build an elevated pond, dam, and then be able to drop 20 to 30 feet, then use a ram pump, and then pump it up the hill.
Mm-hmm.
There's potential there.
There is potential there.
We just don't know what yet.
Right.
But again, we're into the weeds now.
Right.
We need to get back on main topics, because
speaking
it's
about
important.
Main topics,
Yes.
let's back up a little bit.
Uh-huh.
In the middle of this video, we got a call from...
Oh, yeah. Exciting. Mabel's going to have another beauty treatment, that girl.
Yeah.
Man, can't get enough of her.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She's expensive. Let's just say that.
She is high class.
Well, along with everything else, I mean, it seems like every time we look at something, the cost that we thought it was going to be has doubled almost.
Yeah, and
Doubled,
some things.
tripled.
Well, and just what we've talked about today.
Mm-hmm.
But Mabel, that sexy girl, she's going to be getting her another beauty treatment to go on her back end.
Yep.
So we're not going to tell you what that is. We've talked about it, but you'll see.
Yeah.
But it goes on her back end.
Yeah.
She's going to be looking so fine.
And so is the property.
So will the property be, because that girl, she's a hard worker.
Yes.
So, with Mabel's new beauty treatment attachment, we'll be able to kind of close off another kind of neat thing that's been exciting that we've been talking about for a long time. So you'll see that to come.
Yeah.
So where we're at now, insulation, key. We went to the home improvement store last week, and so this little one over here could get ideas on what she wants to do for bathroom and kitchen.
I haven't locked anything in yet because...
No.
I mean...
Just getting ideas.
We have to get the first things done, like the electrical, the insulation, is going to determine what we...
Are you making up words over here?
Is going to... is the insulation and all that stuff has to get done before we decide on any cupboards or anything.
Right.
We might have to rehome it. Go to the rehome store.
Well, at this rate, we might be begging out on the side of the road,
Yeah.
holding up a sign. We'll work for cabinets.
We might have to make our own cabinets out of our own wood on the property.
And I'll tell you, for you folks that did or didn't see it, you got to go back to clearing the right of way, because we got a beautiful oak tree. We didn't want to fell the oak tree, but it was necessary because it's right on our power line.
And we felled the oak tree because
Because it's right on our power line?
Because it's right on our power line, and we're using power lines because the cost of doing it underground, which
Trenching,
we prefer,
yes.
is...
Oh, yeah, we're not going to touch it.
It's so expensive, guys.
We think,
oh, my goodness.
We think we could do it for maybe $15 a foot, but that's me guesstimating and saying, yeah, I think it costs us $4 a foot to trench it, and all the fuel that would cost, etc. But it's a guess. It could maybe end up being $7 to $8 more a foot. So we'd be into it $18 a foot. And then guess what? The electrical company's still coming behind us and charging us another $11 a foot. So when you look at it, even if it costs us $15, we could do, it's roughly maybe 1,200 feet, let's just say. If we could underground 1,200 feet, that 1,200 foot is still going to come at a premium of $11 a foot from the company, the electrical company, and then we're still would pay, I'm guessing, about $15 a foot if we did all the work ourselves. So at that rate, we're not going to make, we just can't make that do. The numbers don't work. We don't have the money to be able to do that.
No.
So all
That's
of that,
a dream, but it ain't happening.
yeah, it's well, this is where dreams meet reality.
Yeah.
The dream is that that's what we wanted, but
the reality is
we have champagne tastes, and we make Kool-Aid wages. So that's the reality.
Right now we make no wages, but
speak for yourself. I make wages at the moment. No matter what I do, 24/7, 365, I'm making wages. That's another topic for another day and not to be discussed here.
yes.
So, at any rate, yeah, we can't afford that. But basically the next steps, meet the insulator. We need to start planning our floor layout in the laying the tiny home out, and what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. We need to get those measurements. We need to go get our mobile home tie down kit, so we can get Hedgehog Manor tied down so she don't blow away in the wind.
Yep, and I think we're going to have to get some more cinder blocks to put underneath the tiny home, because in some of the areas they did not support her correctly.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely think it's worth visiting before we get it closed up. Definitely.
Yeah.
Before we get her skirted. But we're going to have to come back to that. The bad thing is I need a new chainsaw. My little pollen chainsaw, pollen, however you want to say it.
Pollen?
Poulan. I don't know. I'm not a linguist for the chainsaw company.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's Poulon. Is it Poulin? Is it pollen? Is it Polane?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Whatever.
And we're thinking about not only getting a new chainsaw.
Those are expensive, of course, too.
Yeah. We want to maybe get a chainsaw.
Yeah, we're going to look at getting a chainsaw mill, but that's going to be later. Is that what you were thinking of?
Yeah, because we might need to mill some of our own wood.
Well, no, we definitely will want to mill some of our own wood. We can make some beautiful white oak slabs.
We can do some accent walls in our house.
We could. Yeah, absolutely. Sand them down, stain them up nice. Absolutely. I love wood.
And maybe do some countertops.
We could, but I think I want to do concrete countertops.
Okay.
I just want to do that, but we'll see. We can definitely do some stuff with it, though.
Yeah.
So we got that coming up. The chainsaw mill will be down the line. We have all that brush to clear. My goodness, is it a bunch of brush?
Oh, boy. Yeah.
If it wasn't a bunch of brush before, it definitely has a bunch of brush now.
Yeah.
With these trees that we just cut down, and it should be good enough to get us access. We'll see when our electrical, when the inspector comes out again, the engineer, super nice fellow. We'll see what he has to say, and if that's good enough, great, and something else might have to come down, but hopefully not.
Yeah.
we're looking at some possible solutions for power while we're out there until we have power.
Yeah.
And we're looking at one of those little Hondas, which are really nice little units, super quiet. And then we're looking at the trade-off between that and some battery, operated stuff. There's some really nice cordless stuff now, but I mean, I have a skill saw. I have lots of stuff that's electric. So it's one of those things that...
Yeah, a lot of our stuff is still in...
No, most of our building stuff is here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The building stuff is here. Some of that other stuff is of course, back in the Republic.
Right. But, so that's another dilemma is...
Getting that out here. Yeah, we have a 20-foot container. And so we are working that out. But we don't need that stuff yet until we have a place to put it. So we have stuff back in the Communist Republic that we need to retrieve. But we won't be able to get that till we have a place to put it.
Right.
And we won't have a place to put it till we get a pole barn. And I'm hoping that we're still going to be able to do a pole barn this year. But with the poop-apocalypse and crapageddon that's happening at the moment, that the world, if we're at $6 a gallon gas, because of some silliness, which that'll be absolutely ridiculous.
It's going to make everything in the stores go up.
Oh, it'll be catastrophic is what it'll be. It'll take this economy and bring it right to its knees, because everything runs on fuel.
Yeah.
Everything is based on the price of fuel. So let's not talk about that. It'll just piss me off anyway. So
yeah.
Another topic for another day that's not on YouTube.
Right.
So.
Right.
But I mean, that's kind of the broad strokes of where we're at. We got a lot of neat things going on, and we've been busy, and we're trying to continually push the envelope forward. So what say you?
As far as composting and getting ready for the garden, we're going to be doing that slowly. We might have to kick it into high gear if things do change, however.
To be determined.
Yeah. And what else? I was going to say something else. I'm not sure.
Well, you can sit here and look pretty and think about it and figure out what it was. Hey guys, thanks for coming along. Thanks for being a part of our journey and watching Hedgehog's Homestead.
Check out our merch store below.
And you guys have yourself a hedgehoggy day. We look forward to seeing you in the near future.
Have a hedgy day, as I like to say.
Mm-hmm.
And as always,
God bless.
bye.